Now, when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, once again, losing to Patrick Mahomes, a.k.a. Pennywise, and the Kansas City Chiefs, it's become pretty evidently clear that we know who the Buffalo Bills really are. We all grew up with them. We saw them in high school. We saw them in college. They're just bad test takers. It's just a real thing. Doesn't matter how they got to the point of taking the big test. They're going to fail it, especially when Kansas City comes calling, whether that be on the road or whether that be at home, right? You can prepare, and the Bills did. You can have the talent, and the Bills do. You can even have all the loyalty and the support possible, which makes Buffalo, to me, the most college-like atmosphere in the NFL, which is an advantage. But when you show up to take the test, you can never pass it. It doesn't matter the circumstance. Then on the other hand, you've got Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs who can show up drunk to the test, write the answers on the bottom of their shoe, and it doesn't matter how the day goes, they are going to pass it. And it's sad, to be honest with you. The Bills have never won a Super Bowl. We know about them losing multiple times in a row with Jim Kelly, but it felt like this year they were going to walk in the classroom, sit down, didn't matter the proctor, and pass the test. But once again, they did not. And the question now becomes, maybe they're not meant to pass the test with this group. Hell, maybe they're not meant to pass the test for a long time. We've seen it in the past with the Red Sox and the Cubs. Heck, it took Michigan a long time to get back over the hump. It took Georgia and Kirby Smart a while to get over the Alabama hump. But at some point, you would think the Bills would break through. But at the end of the day, when you sit down, you take that number 2 pencil out, it's you and the test. And after all the breaks the Bills caught, yes, the fumble that they were able to recover. Yes, the fumble that went out of the back of the end zone leading to a touchback. It felt like it gave the momentum back to Buffalo. But it all ended the same way it started. And that's with a loss to the GOAT right now, at least playing-wise, in Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And the Bills don't look like they're going to pass the test anytime soon. Well, guy that passed a lot of tests, at least, that's the rumor.
Allegedly.
Former Michigan quarterback David Cohn, my brother, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver Blaine Crane. David, we all know that guy or girl. We grew up with him, right? They passed the pop quiz. Man, I tell you what, they'll nail an essay or a take-home project, right? They won the science fair. They made the volcano that was able to shoot up with the Altoids, whatever the hell you put in it. But it just seems like whatever the Bills do, if they struggle in the regular season and take the GOAT path, as I mentioned on Will Kane, lift your shield, SDLTs, or it's a smooth regular season and they get to the point to face Patrick Mahomes, they just can't pass the test, man. Maybe they were never meant to do it.
I like that analogy as someone who still shakes a little bit when I see a Scantron getting passed out in front of people.
We don't say that word. I don't say that word. I don't say that word since I got done with
Talk about PTSD. First of all, what a game. What a game. This was a heavyweight fight that lived up to the hype, man. I mean, it really did. It delivered. And we talk so much about some of these matchups in the NFL throughout the season are disappointing and they don't live up to the hype. Man, this one really delivered. You can tell in late January when these AFC teams with these quarterbacks meet up, it's going to be a heavyweight fight. And it felt like down the stretch, man, the loser of this game is going to be whichever quarterback makes a mistake first. And that didn't happen. I mean, look, Josh balled. You got to give him his props. He really showed up. He put on the Superman cape. But to me, the difference was the Kansas City Chiefs role players. I mean, take Patrick Mahomes out of it and his greatness. Even Travis Kelce having his best game of the season, 2 touchdowns, take him out of it. Isaiah Pacheco, 97 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire comes in, has one of the biggest plays of the game. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, when's the last time you've seen him catch a big-time catch throughout the season? He had multiple yesterday, one even with one hand. It was the role players and then a Steve Spagnolo defense makes adjustments at halftimes to give up 7 points to the Buffalo Bills in the second half. That was the difference to me. And I tell you, as exciting as this one was, this Chiefs-Baltimore Ravens matchup is going to be every bit the billing too.
Look, it's becoming evidently clear, if it wasn't already, that it seems like Josh Allen is just a CPU character in a game that revolves around Patrick Mahomes. He's just one of the guys you've
Oh no, he's NPC?
He's NPC. He's NPC. And the saddest part is, I have no dog in this fight, but I was actively rooting for the Bills. Not because I hate Patrick Mahomes or Kansas City. I wanted to see the Bills finally get over the hump in a year where they struggled early, overcame adversity, were able to find a way to host Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. And when you look at the Chiefs roster around, you really felt like this was going to be the year. But, Blaine, when you look at the way the game went, Josh Allen was good, right? I thought Patrick made some plays. The throw to Valdez-Scantling at the end, and I will say, Stephon Diggs, you got to catch that ball.
Yeah.
You got to catch that ball.
That's the difference.
That's the difference. But when you watch Buffalo, the lack of big plays, and I do want to give Spags credit for this, the defense coordinator for the Chiefs. They didn't have a play over 18 yards. I believe Buffalo did for the whole game. They were going lateral. Buffalo can really hurt you vertically, and they tried to take shots, even against too high, the one I just mentioned is Stephon Diggs. But the Chiefs made the plays down the stretch. And when it comes down to it, and you really look at it and call it for what it is, this was probably the best chance the Bills are going to have ever against the Chiefs. Ever against the Chiefs, and you still lost it. So, Blaine, I mean, if you're the Bills, and we can talk about the kick, there's many plays that cause you to win a game or cause you to lose a game. You got to make that kick. Again, at the end of the day, in the NFL, you got to make that kick. But it was many plays that led up to that loss. But if you're the Bills, where do you go from here? Where do you go?
I think that Stephon Diggs things, it's over. I think it's time to move on. I always thought these two, it started to become with a lot of drama, especially later in the seasons in the playoffs. Stephon Diggs did not play well in this football game. And when you pay your guys this much money, your biggest players have to show up. Josh Allen had to showed up, and I think that right now, if you're the Bills, look at your offense. You had a bunch of injuries on defense. I know your best players were hurt on defense. They'll be back next year. I think Dalton Kincaid's a star.
He is.
I think Dalton Kincaid, for y'all, their tight end, is going to be a star. So let's start building around him. You move Stephon. I don't think you have to keep Gabe. But what you have right now is not working. It might work during the regular season. That's fine. But once you go up against the Chiefs, it doesn't work. It's almost the Ohio State syndrome, okay? Ohio State is was built to win national championships, right? Michigan was built to beat Ohio State. It feels like the Chiefs are built to beat the Bills, right? So if you're the Bills, something has to change. I don't know if it's Sean McDermott. Josh Allen is going to be there. Stephon needs to go. I think Gabe needs to go. You get some younger pieces in there, some more pieces that need to prove themselves and don't get into it with Josh Allen every time he doesn't throw him a pass, and you start building.
Well, and we know the relationships that quarterback and wide receivers go through. It's up and down. It's a lot like, relationships in the real life. If you're doing well financially, you're probably not going to have as many arguments as if you were doing bad. But it typically always seems like it ends up with Stephon Diggs yelling or complaining at Josh Allen. And I mean, let's be honest, when it came down to it yesterday, one guy made the plays, one guy didn't make the plays. And I didn't see anybody over there yelling at the other guy who wasn't making plays on the sidelines.
4 plays, 40-plus yards that should have been caught. For the Buffalo Bills, that didn't happen.
It's just the difference. And now we'll see and we're going to preview these games going through the rest of the week. We want to know what you think. We're going to take live calls. The line's going to open at 7:15 a.m. Central. We're going to get to him at 7:30. We got Jim Cavall on today. Very excited to get him on to talk some NIL. We're going to get to the Booster Club in a second. Remember, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. I know a lot of y'all are watching, a lot of y'all are listening, and make sure you're subscribed. It helps out everybody. And check out our merch store.
Do it.
Got some pretty cool stuff in there. The hoodies, selling like hotcakes. I'm telling you, that Lady Ballers candle, man, that cherry, strawberry scent.
That's a good one, isn't it?
Just something I just walk in and just increases my mood in the most positive way. But all right, speaking about increasing my mood.
Chat.
What is up?
Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. If you donate, I will read it if it's on topic. We're going to start the day off with Tomcat Bobcat. What's up, man? It says, will it take the Chiefs not making the playoffs for the Bills to make a playoff run? Does Josh Allen ever beat Vader?
I mean, at this point, that'd be the only way. The only way to get past the obstacle, it seems, for the Bills is if it's not there. And listen, I sit up here and I talk about this all the time in sports, that it's cyclical, right? Especially the game of football. Well, for the Bills, they've been in one long-ass cycle of not winning anything, really, outside of the AFC East, which now that's just like, holding hands on the first date for them. You got to at some point get past it. But, I mean, what better opportunity would you have? I mean, you've had the situation where the chips are stacked against you with a loaded Chiefs team. You've had a situation where you didn't catch some breaks and they changed the overtime rules. Now you have the golden situation. You get them at home with a roster that isn't at the level it typically has been to the Chiefs, even going back to the year before when they won the Super Bowl. It's even worse, I think, than the Super Bowl team from 2 years ago. You have them at home, all the momentum. You arose like a phoenix from the ashes during the regular season, had a chance at the end, and you still lost. Yeah. But, David, it's a complete team loss. It wasn't like one side of the ball played incredible and the other one blew it. You had chances to put them away on defense, and you never did it. Every time the Bills took the lead, it seems like the Chiefs got the ball, went right back down the field, and scored. Then on offense, when the defense did get stops, right? When you did have the ball roll out of the back of the end zone in an incredible break, after you just tried to write an ESPN 30 for 30 by running a fake punt with Damar Hamlin on 4th and 5.
I need a hero.
What a bad call.
We'll get to that. But like at what point do you have to cheat on the test? Like at what point do you have to be like Tom Hanks' son in that movie with Jack Black and just try and steal the answers?
This was really a missed opportunity. Look around the rest of the landscape of just the AFC for a moment. What Baltimore's doing with Lamar Jackson right now. When you look at, at some point, Joe Burrow's going to stay healthy and Cincinnati's going to be a problem in the postseason. The Chargers are about to get a new head coach with Justin Herbert.
Oh, it's never going to be
That
easier.
may be Jim Harbaugh. Sean Payton's going to figure things out in Denver, whatever quarterback he moves forward. Like, it's never going to get any easier. The only thing you have going for you, at least, you ran Bill Belichick out of New England.
Right now, that may not be a good thing.
That may not be a good thing, and maybe you have Miami's number in the regular season so that you can win a few AFC East championships in a row so that you can continue to get home field advantage. That's the only thing to me. But look, I mean, Mike McDaniel down there, Miami's going to be a problem, especially in the regular season. So
I'm with you. I'm with you. But like it's also gotten to a point where I feel like Bills fans are like, you know what? Screw the Super Bowl. I'm not even asking to win the Super Bowl. I just want to go. I just want to go. Well, you just want to get past the Chiefs.
Didn't y'all lose 4 straight?
No, they did. But what I'm saying, like, again, at this point, isn't it just get past the Chiefs? Like, can we just get past the Chiefs? I'm not trying to put the cart too far ahead of the horse. And you know what? If the Bills beat the Chiefs, they probably win the Super Bowl, fellas. That's probably the truth, because it'll be such a weight lifted off of them. But again, you're just bad test takers. Right? Man, your report card's good, but come ACT, SAT time, it's not a good situation. You're panicking Skywalker. That's just the truth.
God, nothing like panicking.
What's up, YouTube? Apparently you guys have been liking what you're seeing. Well, we appreciate that, and we also like to see that. So while you're here, subscribe. Turn that notification bell on so you know when we drop content, which is like all the time, because we're out here trying to get it.